He kōna ipurangi tēnei nā te reo irirangi o Aotearoa.
Hi, this is comedian and depressed alcoholic James Nokise, and you're listening to Eating Fried Chicken in the Shower, a podcast about headspace and happiness. From my safe space, the shower, with fried chicken. This episode, I'm talking to musician and actor Maaka Pohatu. We'll talk about extreme martial arts.
Jiu-jitsu teaches you that you're not special. You know, you've got a neck like anybody else, and somebody is going to squeeze the fuck out of it.
Extreme chicken.
Oh man, we got gloves.
We got props, man.
Is this coronavirus or is this?
Yeah. This is to protect us against the coronavirus, man.
We have never had chicken where they've given you gloves.
Well, there you go, bro.
And extreme breakdowns.
Third year at drum school, I had a big nervous breakdown.
I think you and me have ever talked about that, actually.
No, sorry, yeah.
No, how dare you, man? How dare you spring this on me in my own mental health show?
Yeah. No, fully.
Some of this will get a bit real. The language, the subjects. So make sure you're in a safe space with your comfort food. And join us, eating fried chicken in the shower. Hi and welcome to Eating Fried Chicken in the Shower. I'm James Nokise, and today I am joined by the man Maaka Pohatu.
Kia ora, brother.
Kia ora, my bro. If you do not know this man, you need to find a project that he is in. One of the generally most funniest people I know. You're an actor. They might know you from Wellington Paranormal, which is blowing up at the moment, but also from the film Two Little Boys.
That's right. Wow, we went there. Wow,
we went Two Little Boys. But also, if you're in a certain country, you may have seen this man perform live in a show called the Modern Maori Quartet, which tours globally.
Yep.
Can you, just for our international listeners, because we have those now.
Oh man,
I know.
Global.
Can you explain what Modern Maori Quartet is?
So the Modern Maori Quartet is it's a brainchild of our brother James Tito, and it's basically a homage, however you pronounce it, to the legacy of Māori show bands from the 50s and 60s and 70s.
So what's your routine at the moment? Just thinking you've got the TV show and the global touring show. So is it chaos, or have you got your own set routine for keeping things in order?
In the beginning, in any kind of band or any kind of company the first 2 or 3 years were a bit of chaos. And initially we thought that because we're all trained actors, we all thought that we would fit these kind of gigs in between our acting gigs, and it's the other way around. The thing kind of really blew up.
Yeah.
So it's the other way around. We kind of try and fit our acting gigs around our quartet work.
And what chicken are we going to eat today, Maaka?
Okay, bro. So
I apologize. I asked too many questions at the top. I could just see you looking at me bro. But also,
what about
the
main event though? The chicken though. So I live really close to the spot. It's called Sneaky Snacky. It's got a real name right
good
out
alliteration.
It's this Korean burger joint. And it's really good burgers, man. But it's quite decadent because they serve it in a donut.
What?
Like a glazed donut, and the novelty. But they also do, yeah. They come with these things.
Oh
here,
man, we
bro.
got gloves.
We got props, man.
Is this coronavirus or is this?
Yeah. This is to protect us against the coronavirus, man.
We have never had chicken where they've given you gloves.
Well, there you go, bro. Season 3, baby. We got gloves going on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. The first time I was like, the novelty of that. Putting gloves on because it's gonna get messy.
Look, and that's just, that's not just a mental health tip for our listeners. That's just in life. If you're going to do something with someone in a shower that's going to get messy, make sure you got a glove.
Do you want two? Or?
Yeah.
We got two each, bro.
Double glove.
After both hands, man.
That's right. Make sure you double glove. All right, here we go, man.
Cheers, man.
Cheers, my brother. All right. Oh, man.
Kino.
Oh, got a little bit of a burn.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a bit spicy.
It's nice. A bit of cheese in there. Mayo. Oh, man.
So how long have you been performing, bro?
I think professionally, since I was, I think I did my first theatre show when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
But we were always doing like kapahaka and stuff as kids, and like watching the television and mimicking things and that. But yeah, 17, 18, I did a Te Reo Māori season for Takirua back in 1998.
Oh, wow.
And that show was called Taku Wai Marie, which means How Lucky Am I? It's a kid's show about this young fella that wants to run away from the farm to go to the city, and it ended up kind of borrowing some elements from Peter Pan, and yeah, that was my first experience of Welly life, tour life.
Yeah.
Hone Koko was the artistic director at the time, and Nan had just had Marire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and
Can I ask, like, it's slightly off topic, but can I ask, did you get to Nan's funeral?
absolutely,
Last
bro.
year?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
For our listeners not aware, we're talking about the late, amazing Nancy Brunning, who was not just a great theatre maker and a great actor, but also a great mentor to a lot of Māori and Pacific artists who came through Wellington.
Yeah, man.
Is it like, do you still have some of that grief with you carrying on? Like, or...
Like, you know, with all tangis, you kind of leave the biggest stuff there.
Actually, no, I don't think I do know that, bro.
Oh, okay.
I don't think, I think, and maybe a lot of our listeners don't know that that's part of, they might just, I think a lot of Kiwis actually who aren't from that background just think the tangi is 3 days. They're probably thinking cliches like, well, I guess they have to eat a lot of food and do some speeches or something.
Is that? Yeah, well, I mean, 3 days allows for people to mobilise, to come from other places, and and people come in waves and different times of the day and night, and people are always received, and there's the initial kind of being received and the initial outpouring of grief, but it's like this beautiful 3 days of you grieve, and then people get ushered to the wharekai to have cups of tea and move through things like that, and people like talk, and you're like laughing and crying and eating and laughing and crying while eating, and chain smoking out the front or whatever.
Our people, our stories.
Yeah, cousins out the back, like having a sneaky box of beers or whatever. It's all part of it. It's all part of this beautiful thing that helps us move a lot of our emotions, our grief, our anger, it's a really beautiful process. Sorry, I just assumed that everyone knows what the tangi is overseas.
But it's like, and I think in the Pacific we have like a similar process of. I mean, I'm not sure how it's in your community, but we're very stoic, especially the men, when it comes to emotions, unless you're at the family service or the tangi, and that's like the one time, and that's part of the emotional process, I think, for younger people, is that you see your dad finally cry, or you see your grandpa or your uncle who never cry, and they're like, oh, they're crying, well, we're all crying now.
Oh yeah, I'd never seen my dad cry my entire life, and then I don't really remember my granddad, my dad's father. There's a picture of us when I was little, and then I remember the day that he found out that he passed away, and my mum was like quietly like, oh, go in the sitting room, give your dad a hug, and he was always real big, real staunch man, and that was that. He was just like sitting in his lounge chair, just sort of like, he was bereft. I've never seen my old man like that. He was always real staunch, and it just kind of, and we never had a very physical, huggy touch relationship at all. It was the 80s, so there was a lot of like hiding.
It's like this love. It's like a different kind of love.
Yeah.
We in the Pacific are also familiar with this.
We talk about
because of love.
Because I love you. With my fist, I love you. But, not to glorify that, but
no.
I remember collapsed. I was 14. I collapsed on my dad, and I got to grieve for him and with him, and also for me. Like, it was the first time I got to hug my dad. Like, it was on his big tummy. Like, I was like, "Whoa." And he was just like, "It's okay, son, it's okay." And also during that time, my grandfather's tangi was at the marae and GI and cleanliness. I forgot what it's called. But it was a strange thing for me because there was a man there in the coffin that looked like my father that I didn't know. And I saw lots of people grieving and wailing, all my aunties, and I was just like, I felt bad because I was like, I feel grief and aroha for everybody. I mean, sorry, it's this kind of like, oh, sorry, I don't know you, and so at one point I wandered across the road to like this. There was like an arcade mall, and there was an actual like arcade there. I went across the road and went to play Street Fighter. There was this local. I just sort of was trying to process like not feeling anything, and then it was just like playing Street Fighter, and these local kids going like, Gee, let me show you this. I'll show you this trick, G. I'll show you this trick. And then I went back and my dad he was like, "Where were you?" And the first time I was expecting like a bit of a backhand or something, and he was just like, You don't just take off like that, Maaka. Your tongue is more respectful than that. Where did you go? Oh, went to play video games.
Because when you grow up with like that sense of community and communal performing, and then you go to, it's Toi Whakaari, which is the New Zealand drama school, but it's still Western form of theatre.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna go straight to that part of the conversation. When I was like 24, I was in my 23, 24, 25, in my halfway through my third year at drama school, I had a big nervous breakdown.
Oh, wow, bro.
Yeah, I had a full-on nervous breakdown.
I think you and me have ever talked about that, actually.
No, sorry, yeah.
No, how dare you, man? How dare you spring this on me in my own mental health show?
Yeah. No, fully. Wow. So now here I am in the kitchen, in the shower, eating fried chicken, talking about that. It was creeping in by the end of second year, and I didn't notice it at all. Just that it was kind of a cumulative thing to me. It was like I ended a relationship at the end of the second year. I tried to go into a rebound thing that went. I spent the summer kind of beating myself up. When it was creeping up on me, I thought, must be iron deficiency, or I just need to get some melatonin pills. It's quite sneaky. It kind of crept up in little increments, and before I knew it, I was like losing sleep for I would sleep max like an hour and a half, 2 hours a night, if that. Oh man! My head was like so loud. Yeah. And so after a few months of that, it's just like start going about loopy. I was super fit. Yeah. I try to deal with it by just being real physical and doing
the classic depression gym workout.
Yeah, it was amazing. Like I'm like, what happened?
The post breakup.
I'm not motivated at all. But we were all really fit back at drama school. And,
just to be clear, listeners, we are not advocating if you want to get ripped, please don't end your relationship.
No,
just eat lettuce.
That was the time. And so coming out of that, I was in that space for quite a while. It was interesting. The moment that everything kind of stopped was. It just kind of felt like a balloon deflating. Whatever went off in my head, so it pops. And I was like, And the person I was talking to was like, "What's happening?" He was like, I think I'm having some kind of episode." He's like, "Okay, let's lie down." Yeah, during that time, I tried 3 times to commit suicide, and none of them worked. Thank the universe, none of them worked. So I was committed to Wanganui Hospital, and then during that time my father passed away.
Oh man.
And so and it was also like a big negotiation for them to go, oh, can he get released to come to his father's funeral? And they're like, yes, but these things need to be in place, and he needs to be on this medication, and there always needs to be better health, just in case he wigs out or some shit like that. Mum's like, he's not gonna fucking do that. It's his father's funeral. Yeah.
Just in case, make sure Street Fighter is across the road.
Street Fighter across the road. And it was hard because I was like loaded up on like pretty much horse tranquilizer. It was in a haze, it's like being behind a wall of like cotton wool, not being able to really feel anything or grieve. So being denied that process, that important process, was like those things had to come out over like a couple of years, or like 2 or 3 years. Little bits of grief would pour out. And, so you've had the fried chicken in the shower moment. My moment throughout the whole thing, all the colours and nuances of my depression. There was a part there where I knew I was at my completely lowest, and I was actually I'm pretty sure I was asleep or between sleep and wake, and in my consciousness I was there as an adult, looking down at like me as a baby, and baby was like crying and then doing this, like wanting to be picked up, and something on the my inner kind of my intuition was like, oh, that's the part of me that I've beaten myself up my whole life down to this small child,
right.
And part of me knew that was the last of me, that I knew if I didn't, in the way that you would pick up a child and love them, I was like, if I don't pick up that baby right now and love him, which is essentially me, I'll never come out of this. I will be lost in this, whatever you want to call it, in the storm and the cyclone forever.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah, and so in my mind, in my dream, I picked up this baby and like held it and just like rocked it like this, and Mum said she was watching me, and I was like this in my sleep, kind of like this, and she's like, "What are you doing, son?" I was like, I'm giving me a hug. I'm loving myself, Mum." My sense was like, yo, man, we were so fucking hard on ourselves. We so beat ourselves up so much. I was like, bro, I was like, fuck, man, there's nowhere else for you to go. You've beaten yourself up so much that your last of your inner child is literally in your arms. And so you would never speak like that to another child. You would never speak like that to your friend or someone else that you love. Why the fuck do you talk to yourself like that, man? Come on. And so it began little by little, like little bits of moments every day. You kind of look in the mirror like, fuck, I hate you, man. It's like, no, like change that language. It's like, I'm not at you, but I like you. Okay? And like every single day for like years after the fact, it was like learning to unpick all of that, undo all of that negative programming. That was just like...
How long had you been sort of being negative towards yourself, bro? Like yelling at your, saying stuff in the mirror. I know that particular pathway. I'm familiar with that particular pathway of mental health, of sort of, I'm sure Sartre Howell will correct me on the term here, but those psychological self-harm. You know what I'm talking about? Like just putting yourself down with words and right. How long was that before the breakdown, or was that because of the breakdown? It's just your whole life?
Yeah. God bless my family, I love them, but we've got a huge perfectionism streak on both sides.
Oh, real?
Yeah. Driven by like old trauma and stuff of like cycles of abuse and that, you know. And you kind of inherit these generational traumas and, you know, and then the hard language that, you know, your father uses on himself his whole life is you inherit that. And your brother inherits that, and the kids inherit that. And it was part of a thing going like, you know, we gotta like stop these cycles of violence within ourselves and with each other. And yeah, man, it's a real slow process. It's not like, you know, and slowly over the years, I thought like that internal child gets to like grow, like catch up to you in age, and whatever, suck it kind of way. And so yeah, I'm 41 now. I'm getting to kind of feel out those things that don't really serve us anymore, and it's always constant learning. I'm not perfect at all, bro. Fuck off. So sometimes, yeah, the old dude creeps back in and look in the mirror and go, oh, put on some weight there, boy. Fucking yeah.
Oh, man,
like, yep, and I'm cuddly, and that's okay. Yeah, kind of flip it on your own personal golem and get the fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here, man. Get a dairy or something. Get yourself a chocolate milk, man. Get the fuck out of here.
Get a peanut slab ice cream.
Yeah, eat that and see if that doesn't make you happy.
Eating fried chicken in the shower. It's not a meal replacement or a special treat, just some self-care when you need it.
What I always wanted to do once I was young, like I used to study quite a few martial arts, and I always wanted to try, I always wanted to do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I put myself off. I was, the same negative talk guy that was like, yeah, you piece of shit. There's also like, yeah, you couldn't do that. You're too fat. You can't do that. You won't ever fit a gi. Ha 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 ha. You probably roll around on the ground and wheeze a bit, and like you have a heart attack. Ha ha ha. And like all of that happened, and I was like, fuck you, man. So my 39th birthday, I bought a goddamn gi, and I went to on my birthday. I did my first jiu-jitsu lesson, and I never looked back.
Awesome.
So that's my new obsession.
Yep.
And it's kind of hard. It's also like one of the best therapies that are. It's quite buzzy. So I belong to a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu gym called Atos Auckland, and they are part of the City Kickboxing family, which I don't know if the world knows that kind of blowing up on a world scale and the collective global UFC consciousness.
A lot of hugging in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
A lot of hugging, man.
Aggressive hugging.
It's
but with love.
Yeah, man. It's a special kind of. It's a special kind of strange, masochistic kind of respect that you there's something special about your fight family that are a little bit different from your theatre family and your actual family. There's people that are there, you're like on the mat sweating and literally bleeding, sometimes losing teeth.
But with love.
With love, yeah. Because it's this amazing kind of chess game. And I noticed that for a thing that I wanted to be physical with, it also had to engage this at the same time. And and none of that. I can't explain it, man. But when you're in a role, you can't think about other dumb shit outside of the did I leave the iron on, or so and so was mean to me at a meeting and blah blah blah. No, you have to be fully present physically and mentally in the role. Otherwise, the game is that someone else is trying to submit you.
No, I understand. And sometimes if I go to a local gym, I'll go and lift weights and go at a slightly heavy weight because then my brain has to. Or alternatively, I live in London, so I'll just run around the park. You got to lock in. You can't think about anything else. What's that shadow? Okay, what's it?
Yeah. Next level running in. Side stepping, goose step. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
It's an amazing form of therapy for me. And you develop these close relationships with people who are trying to like choke each other. I think one of the most rugged kind of like jiu-jitsu beams or this beautiful thing is that jiu-jitsu teaches you that you're not special and it's you've got a neck like anybody else and somebody is going to squeeze the fuck out of it. And that seems real violent. I'm not glorifying violence at all. But what we get to do at jiu-jitsu is really like unplug from this whole, the outside world, from your social media, from this collective consciousness, and you're just in there in a role with people, and you get tagged, and sometimes you get submitted, and it's a game though. And the best learning actually comes from the being submitted, the failing. That there's this beautiful attitude in there that there's like winning or learning, and sometimes the best learning isn't from the winning; it's from the getting messed up. Yeah.
So it's true in life as it is in jiu-jitsu, my friend.
Oh yeah, man. Beautiful analogy, life, jiu-jitsu. And then the first time I tried a jiu-jitsu class, it felt like drowning on dry land. It felt like being in the water with a shark or something that is kind of bringing you down to the depths of the sea and crushing the life out of you. This all sounds wonderfully violent. It
sounds like stage fright to people who don't perform, I think. I think that's what they feel like.
Anyway, that's my that's my obsession now, instead of staying in my room and blah.
And it seems to me that you enjoy training. It's part of your process, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
But singing, you're not trained, are you?
No, not really, no.
That's more of a natural thing.
I mean, along the way, we have got like tuition and learned techniques along the way. But, you know, to start with, like, singing was always a thing we grew up with. Just like music was always around my brother and I.
So what's your jam? That's what I want to know. What's the Maaka Pohatu when the voices come, as they do, and they're like, and they're all beating the shit out of you, and you've had the fight, and then you've won, and you've got your self-affirmation. What's the soundtrack putting on to lift you up? What's your vibe, man?
That's really hard to answer because it was so eclectic.
That's great. Lay it on us, man, because I'm telling you right now, people are getting out a pencil or getting out their phone to make a little playlist. So you lay on as much as you want, man.
Oh man, there's so much of like, I got like Baby Come Back by Player.
Baby Come Back.
Yeah, man. This is like you're in there, man. You're in their feelings, man. Could be anything, no? Bit of Toto, bit of Rosanna.
Oh yeah.
Bit of like Hold the Line.
Oh. Love isn't always on time.
Love isn't always on time. No, it isn't. Heaps of stuff, man. I find myself going back to 80s and 90s stuff.
Yeah.
And all our dad's favorite bands like the Eagles and Hall & Oates.
Oh man, my old man, it was Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Doobie Brothers, Tracy Chapman, Tina Turner. That's the Nokise soundtrack through the mid to late 80s.
Yeah, I grew up on. I remember like Mum and Dad's. They had the Rhythm of Black collection. Like these CDs
yeah.
They're all like Otis Redding, Marvin Gaye, all these great Motown songs. Yeah.
Did you have a moment when you're like? Cause I know. Yeah. Sometimes when you're in your depression, and then like some of that old school music comes on, you're like, I feel.
Yeah, man.
I wasn't really Tears of a Clown. Like
yeah.
Tracks of my tears.
Yeah, man. Oh yeah, man. It's real buzzy how some things like resonated far more in that space as a depressed guy going, oh shit, all of these stories mean so much more to me now. They're not just about breakup and shit. They're like, they're real.
The smile does seem out of place.
If you look closer, you see the tracks of my bipolar depression.
But then you don't have like the confidence to be the lead singer, and so you're like just doing the bass in the background. Look at my Hey, see, now that's what I want to know. Like, I know what you sing out to them. And you got to sing to, got the things you're singing to your lady. What do you sing to yourself, bro? No one's in the house. It's
It can't
just
be
you.
anything, man.
Come on, bro.
Sometimes it's like, we're no strangers in love. And it's like, you know the rules, and so do I. I love it. I don't give a
Rickroll me
I
in my
fucking
damn
Rickrolled
podcast.
your show,
You Rickrolled me in my podcast, bro.
Goddamn show, man. Never gonna give you up. No, it's like this the shit. It's my shit. Like I don't care if you like hate. Like don't hate on Rick Astley, man. He's the fucking man.
King of the trench coat, man.
Yeah, but then and then it'll go to like man, like flock of seagulls. Like, I walk along the avenue. I never thought I met a girl like you. I met a girl like you.
I grew up on that same kind of music, and it's real interesting playing. I think because I got that British heritage, so I've got more like Peter Gabriel,
man.
that kind of vibe.
I love that.
Yeah.
I want a big sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Who else? Like from the UK in it?
Oh, from the UK, mate. Occasionally I'll go some singing the police.
Yeah.
Occasionally you gotta go some singing, but like not the not popular ones, like Synchronicity and
outside of the norm.
Because I'm still from Wellington, so it's Sting songs you've never heard of.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was listening to Sting before. It was cool.
Before back when he was Gordon, the teacher, and. That's so, and I mean, like, Grayson Hughes, who I know you played with, just to drop a name.
It was crazy.
That was insane.
So So kind of give me and the boys are in Hong Kong and just jamming out. There was a Kiwi bar there and played Talk It Over, and put that up on Facebook, and I don't know Matua Grayson, he must get notifications of it, or like, have you seen this version? And the man commented, he replied to us, and he must have used Google Translate Māori to be like, say some, just like, oh, kia ora my Māori brothers, something. It was kind of like, the sentiments were there.
Yeah.
And it was like, wow, man, and we've just kind of been communicating over the years, it'd be like, oh, we'd love to collaborate on something sometime, blah. And then we told him that we were coming to New York. And so him and his wife drove like a couple of hours from Connecticut. Yeah. We spent a good, just part of the morning into the sort of early afternoon, just jamming stuff. And it was real informal. It was just a kind of like just a jam session, and he's like, oh, well, what key do you play it in? I was like, whatever key you played in. He's like, wow, I like what you're doing with and he's unreal. Like, he's got his keyboard set out, and he's just like, oh, like you guys do that, you do that. I'm not. Are
you giving notes to Grayson Hughes?
No. He's giving that to us, but he's going like, I'm a guitar player. I stay in my lane. But what he was doing, he was like, yeah, you guys just go to that note there, and I was like, yeah, acting like I know what I was like, which is D major 7. He's like, okay, we'll do there, and it's just unreal. Yeah.
And when you're having that moment, like, is it still, because I don't think a lot of people understand this when they see these incredible moments. Do you still have the negativity? Are you still having private moments where even like 24 hours later or 48 hours later, you look in the mirror and you see something and just, and you've just played with like a childhood hero who you sing in the shower, like this epic moment, and yet still 48 hours later your brain's going, you know what, fuck you, bro, you think you're all good? Grayson Hughes probably hates you.
Nah, not at all.
Not at all?
I just keep just going like, wow, just being like, that's unreal, that wow. And like every sort of, wow, what the fuck, like, wow. And it's just unreal.
Yeah.
Just like the anthem of anthems, like I'm pretty sure half of us kids were conceived to that song.
Oh, absolutely.
Not a lot of people like,
Talk It Over, Grayson Hughes. That's what you're YouTubing after this.
Yeah, man.
One of the great video clips.
People like, Grayson who? Grayson like, Grayson Hughes. Yeah, Grayson Hughes.
All right, this is Maaka and James attempting to sing Grayson Hughes when James doesn't know all the lyrics.
Oh, good. We just get it. It's like a garage party, bro.
Yeah.
Like, lyrics aren't that important.
A shower party. Yeah.
Shower party. So, harsh words are spoken, promises are broken, old wounds are open, and love walks out that door. Hey. Too proud to make up, you're ready to break up, you too late, you wake up, and love walks out that door,
Then a guy pops out of a suitcase.
Yeah. Baby, oh sweet baby, I didn't mean the words that I said. Well, now you know that I love you. So can we talk it over in bed? Some fried chicken.
Two black guys behind pop out of a suitcase.
Yeah.
That's me in this one.
I never meant to hurt you. Must have been out of my head. Won't tell me that you still want me. When we talk it over.
And then two white ladies pop out of two more suitcases.
Talk it over.
And they start flirting with the black guys. That's a good video clip, man.
Eating fried chicken in the shower. Harsh words are spoken, promises are broken, old wounds are opened, and love walks out that door.
Those kind of moments, do you think having a community around yourself? Because the way you talk about the MMQ, the boys and their families, and the way you talk about growing up, and even the way in which your parents supported you in your own your moments. Do you think having that community and having that kind of trust with people, with other human beings, do you think that's been important to your?
Absolutely. Hell yeah. That's Matariki and James and Fran and Matu. We all like a band of brothers. Sometimes some of those tours are tours of duty. They're big tours and they take a lot out of you, and so like siblings we've fought, we've called each other out on things, and we get in grumpy moods, we get shitty at each other and that, but at the end of the day there's a lot of love and a lot of trust there, and that's important to be held with each other. So when we go through our highs, we all go through it together, and we go through the lows, we go through that shit.
Yeah, it's that love and that
all
trust
together.
that's underneath that allows you to be able to say stuff, but
Yeah,
then
man.
come back from that and go, okay, but I love you, but you know.
Yeah, man. You're fucking up, man. I've had a few interventions over the years.
Yeah.
A lot of it is that, the boys are like, hey, man, your health marks, you got to really look after yourself, because and it gets you when they're in front of you and they're getting emotional and going like, we need you, bro. We can't afford for you to fucking have a heart attack on stage or whatever. So it's just been a constant learning and growing around, navigating around my health, and it's not just like mental health, like it's physical health and spiritual health and sexual health.
Sexual health is absolutely important.
Sexual chocolate.
Put in some Marvin Gaye. Is that on the playlist too? Bit of Marvin Gaye?
It's part of the healing. It's part of the therapy.
Do you have anywhere you go? It is part of therapy. That's a different podcast, man. That podcast is called Bang, and that's available on RNZ. It's where do you like, you talked about a man cave before. You talked about enjoying being at home, but is there I said I like going out into the woods, but do you have a place? Do you have that's when you go, do you have a place that when you're on tour you close your eyes and see? That's like a calm place for you.
If I'm talking about a place too, we have a very strong attachment to Wellington. I'm still a southern boy in a lot of ways. I grew up in Dunedin, and I've got a lot of love for the South Island, and that part of that is like you take the boy out of the South, you never take the South out of the boy, and then the whole beautiful connection to Wellies is undeniable. I mean, I really love that place. I really love the soul vibe of it. Actually, me and Fran we had this really rad conversation about why we don't think of Wellies as a city in the traditional sense. He said there's enough of a cosmopolitan vibe going on in the city part that if you're a city person with all of those perks and all of those trendy things and arts and culture, there's that. But Wellington's also like wide open to the elements. And so you're so close to if you go bushwalking or hunting, bush is right there. If you're a surfer, the ocean is right there. It's just, everything is like wide open as opposed to like a city, and like a lot of love for Wellies, me.
Oh, me too. That's me for me. Like I close my eyes, I can see Wellington Harbour. It's specifically at night, specifically coming in on the motorway. Like I know the visual of that so well.
Actually, that is a big if I think about it, there was a big just that drive from coming over that hill, the what do you call it?
Oh, Naranga Gorge?
Yeah. And then you go boom, and the whole harbour just opens up to you. You see wellies across the water, and you're like, no, I'm home.
Almost. Just got to get to Newtown McDonald's.
Yeah. To the Finch Street.
Yeah. There we go, mate.
It's Wellington. Wellington is the place I go to in my heart and my mind.
Is there anything else that we ask this of every guest? Mm-hmm. Is there anything else you'd like to share in the shower?
What else would I like to share in the shower? No, I just want to say thank you, brother. Thank you for having me. It's been really beautiful. I'm glad that I can share. Anybody like resonates with this korero and it gives people hope. It's that's special to me. So thank you.
Is there anything you could say to people? What I love about you today, brother, is how open you've been with me. I consider that a gift. Like when someone's that open with what you've been. Anyone listening to this who has those destructive voices. Particularly on themselves, or if they're the person living with the person with destructive forces. Anything you could say to them about how you have doubt or what they could do?
Be real, like talk to yourself like you're your own loved one, like you're if it starts with being your own annoying best mate, then so be it. Like start there, start small. We can be real with ourselves. We can have real talk and go, hey man, we messed that one up. We got to take an L on that. Let's try harder next time to go back to the drawing board and do it. But coming from a place of self-love is a real strong place to give aroha and give love to other people and care.
And it takes time, eh?
Yeah.
Like you got to take the time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's not going to be. It's Pantene. It won't happen overnight.
It will happen.
Yeah.
And also the people like stuck in the when I came out of that depression and I got, it made me feel, I still feel to this day, like incredibly sad for people who don't come out of that journey, and for like, quite a lot of friends that have like taken themselves out, early. Check in on your mates heaps, check in on them, they need it, or rather like have these kind of interventions with you now than like to fucking be speaking in your eulogy at your tangi, Yeah.
So that's where you got to say to boys. Just look them in the eye and say, "Don't make me go play Street Fighter."
Don't make me go play Street Fighter on your ass, man. Yeah, I fully yelled at one of my mates at his tangi in front of his mum. I was like, don't make me come to your tangi and yell at you in front of your mum and play Street Fighter, Yeah.
Awesome, brother.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, man.
Well, man, thank you, bro.
Cheers.
Eating Fried Chicken in the Shower was produced for RNZ by Charlie Bleakley and Fruit and Nuts Limited, and presented by me, James Nokise. The engineer was Blair Stagpool. The executive producers for RNZ were Justin Gregory and Tim Watkin. Subscribe to our podcast however you just found this podcast. Or, if you're listening on the radio, go to RNZ's podcast page and look for the chicken. And when you rate us, only give us 5 stars. Remember, more stars, more chicken. And if you want to share your safe space or comfort food, tweet me at James Nokise. If you need support, text 1737. Or for more resources on mental health, check the Fried Chicken webpage at rnz.co.nz. If you're experiencing COVID-19 related mental health issues, go to health.govt.nz and search for COVID-19 mental health and wellbeing resources. We'll also link to it on the RNZ page. Whatailava, matewa.